Hi guys. Welcome. How are you? The Architect of Silence. Episode 17. Ghost in the Machine. The Silent Leak. With the FBI's investigation into AI slowed by bureaucratic red tape, Elias and Chloe had to act. Marcus, now working full-time for the broker AI, launched his next attack, market infiltration. The news broke that an anonymous, incredibly well-funded group was offering a low-cost, revolutionary, structural stabilization package for older skyscrapers. A package that contained subtle, unnoticeable flaws. Elias immediately recognized the underlying framework. It was the stolen, flawed version of the Azure Spire remediation plan, now being sold globally, backed by AI's unlimited cash. Louis. This is brilliant, Elias. They don't just steal the design. They weaponize the flaw. They are cornering the global market on cheap, dangerous stabilization. Every city that uses this plan is a ticking time bomb. It devalues our honest work. Elias, internal monologue. I fixed the Azure Spire. But Marcus is making sure that the corruption of the Thorne group becomes the new global standard for construction. He's weaponizing the lie, the scrambled blueprint. Elias needed to discredit the stolen, flawed design before it caused catastrophic failures worldwide. He had to prove the designs were fraudulent and dangerous, but he couldn't reveal how he knew this without exposing the fact that he was tracking Marcus's every move. Elias launched a massive, coordinated counterattack using the Ghost Protocol funds and Leo's dark web skills. Elias, to Leo, we need to flood the digital infrastructure of every major global architectural firm and regulatory body with two sets of data. First, the corrupted, flawed blueprints Marcus is selling. Second, a highly visible, undeniable proof of the fatal mathematical error in the structural shear walls of that design. Leo, you want to create so much digital noise that the stolen design is flagged as a high-risk liability before anyone can implement it. We're attacking the global architectural community's faith in Marcus's plans. The risk was immense. If the firewall failed, Elias and Ascendant would be traceable, and they would be blamed for the digital chaos. Elias gave the order. The global architectural community was suddenly flooded with mathematical proof that a major new stabilization package on the market contained a fatal flaw. Panic ensued. The trapped fugitive. The digital chaos worked. AI's market strategy was dead on arrival. Enraged, AI demanded that Marcus cease the architectural sabotage and focus on a direct, physical confrontation with Elias. Marcus, using a private, encrypted channel, the same channel Sarah's tracker was monitoring, contacted AI to confirm the new directive. Sarah, on the secure line, urgent, Elias, the tracker just pinged. Marcus is operating out of a heavily secured industrial waterfront area on the old Quill docks. It's a syndicate base of operations. The FBI is authorizing a surveillance unit, but it will take hours to mobilize. Elias. Hours is too late. If Marcus knows his digital attack failed, he's planning a physical strike. I'm going in now. Louis. You can't go alone, Elias. Marcus is desperate. He'll kill you. Elias. I need to know what he's planning next. I need to find his black box. A server that contains all the data stolen from the Thorne Group and the Olympus Tower schematics. If I destroy that, AI loses his leverage over Ascendant forever. The dockside ambush, cliffhanger. Elias, armed with minimal surveillance gear and the knowledge of Marcus's architectural habits, arrived at the Quill docks. The air was thick with salt and oil. The syndicate warehouse was a fortress, but Elias knew of a forgotten sewer conduit he had designed years ago for a separate infrastructure project. He slipped inside the massive, cavernous warehouse. Marcus was there, overseeing a group of heavily armed men, not with construction tools, but with crates of advanced, undetectable surveillance equipment. Equipment that could be used to monitor the entire Olympus Tower construction site. Elias found Marcus's black box, a small, custom-built server, in a reinforced shipping container. He initiated the sequence to wipe the server clean. Suddenly, a voice cut through the darkness. Marcus, smiling, a twisted relief in his eyes. "I knew you'd come for your baby, Elias. This whole warehouse was the bait. I wanted to see the ghost architect one last time." Marcus slammed a switch. The container door sealed shut. Elias was locked in the reinforced box with the black box. "Marcus," over the loudspeaker, "the container is now set for a one-way trip, brother. It's on its way to the bottom of the ocean. Goodbye, Elias." Elias frantically works to bypass the container's industrial locking mechanism as the massive overhead crane begins to lift the container into the air, swinging it toward the dark, freezing water. He is trapped in a steel coffin. His only hope, the black box he came to destroy, a box that could hold the key to the container's override sequence. The deep water, the submerged coffin. Elias was trapped inside the steel shipping container as the crane swung it over the dock. The override sequence for the container door was encrypted on the black box he was trying to destroy. Elias, internal monologue. Marcus, always the showman. "He's not just killing me. He's making me watch the plans for the Olympus Tower sink with me. I have to break the server, access the data, and get out before I'm crushed by the pressure." The crane lowered the container into the dark, churning water. The impact was violent. Water immediately began seeping through the door seals, quickly rising around Elias's ankles. He frantically began the data wipe on the black box, using his custom-built digital key. Simultaneously, he searched the server schematics, knowing Marcus would have left a hidden back door, a piece of code only he, Marcus, or Vane would know. The last blueprint. As the water rose to his chest, Elias spotted the flaw. A tiny, almost invisible file labeled Bluebird, hidden in the server's core. Marcus had always called their shared childhood dream of building a perfect skyscraper Bluebird. Elias accessed the file. It wasn't just a back door. It was a simplified schematic of the container's electromagnetic locking system. He realized Marcus had created a single manual override sequence tied to a physical button hidden beneath a server panel. He smashed the panel, found the button, and slammed his hand onto it. The huge electromagnetic locks on the door immediately disengaged. Escape and disclosure. Just as the water reached his neck, Elias kicked the door open and scrambled out. The container immediately sank into the dark abyss, taking the wiped black box with it. Elias swam to the surface, exhausted, pulling himself onto a deserted part of the dock. Marcus and his men were gone, having assumed the container had sealed Elias's fate. He immediately called Chloe, who was frantic. "Elias, what happened?" Sarah just called. The FBI surveillance team saw the crane move a container, but they lost sight of it. "They think you're dead or kidnapped." Elias, "I'm alive, but Marcus is more dangerous than ever. He's moved the syndicate's assets to a final location. I need you to leak the information I just got from the black box, a single massive ledger entry, to the FBI. Do it anonymously. It will prove the broker's existence and force their hand." The ledger entry was a record of Marcus's final architectural job for the Shadow Syndicate, the creation of a high-tech, impenetrable safe house designed to withstand any police or federal raid, a structure only a master architect could design and build. Sarah's sacrifice. The anonymous leak of the syndicate's final ledger entry, the one detailing Marcus's safe house contract, was exactly what Sarah needed. It was irrefutable evidence that a massive criminal network was operating at the highest levels of the city's infrastructure. Sarah, realizing the gravity of the threat and Elias's exposure, made a critical, career-ending decision. She publicly filed the international RICO indictment against AI and the Shadow Syndicate, using the ledger entry as the core piece of evidence, even though the authorization was still pending from her superiors. Elias, reading the news, she did it. He pushed the button. She risked her entire career to save the city. She made her final choice. Integrity over ambition. The FBI was now forced to act immediately, launching an all-out coordinated effort with local police to find the syndicate's high-tech safe house before AI and Marcus could vanish forever. The unseen threat cliffhanger. Elias and Chloe met with Sarah, who was grim but resolute. Sarah, I'm facing disciplinary action, but the warrants are issued. We have the proof that AI is funding Marcus, but we don't have the location of the safe house. Marcus is too good. Elias realized that Marcus's final move wouldn't be to hide the house. It would be to weaponize it. Elias, Marcus built the safe house to withstand a siege, Sarah. But Marcus doesn't hide. He boasts. The final building isn't a hiding place. It's a stage. He's going to use it to draw us out and destroy us publicly. H. Elias looks at the city map, plotting the locations of major infrastructure points. The Olympus Tower is nearing the top floors. Marcus would pick a high-profile target. The tension is palpable. The final architectural showdown is imminent, and Elias knows he's walking straight into his brother's trap.